banking and real estate and hotellery business. And in USA, we invest in new technology, data management, banking. I'm the founder of Bank Medici, the first digital USA bank, and we are the only bank in USA that has a crypto license for crypto loans today. I'm investing in few democratization of data collecting company USA, and I love art. I invest in art. I'm an artist myself, and I'm a good friend of one of the best person in the industry, who's Gary, and I have the pleasure to be here and listening and eventually investing in some of this new venture that you are doing. And thank you for having me here today.
Thanks, Lorenzo. Appreciate it. So next, Jordan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jordan Wabe, Silicon Valley Venture Group. A pleasure to meet you. And it's always a pleasure to hear your voice, Mr. Gary. We invest in early stage companies, pre-Series A. We are sector agnostic, but we only work on things that improve the human condition, B2B, B2B2C. If you are pitching today, and I know you are, I see some of my good friends. I see Mr. Amos, all nice and dapper today. And I hope you do really well. This is a great opportunity. You worked hard to get through this excellent course. And I think today is the day for you to start the rest of your life. So go get it.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. Stanley, I see you. Haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the things you're working on? You're on mute. We can't hear you, Stanley.
Back later. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do apologize, Gary. Thanks again for inviting me on this. Of course, my name is Stanley Agnete, and I represent some of Triodos Investment Management, and we look to identify new technologies that actually fit in the sustainability framework, and we invest all across emerging markets. So I look forward to hearing new pitches to see whether there is sustainability angles that we can incorporate. Thanks again, Gary.
Yeah, and you're still on the board of Philips, correct, Stanley, or not?
I'm on the board of Philips Foundation, and we actually support new innovations into renewable energy. So this also presents another avenue for this.
Yeah, Africa. I think you'll like Africa Green Tech. All right, perfect. Sounds great. And my good friend Zamir, how you doing, Zamir?
Doing great, Gary. Thank you, everybody. Good to see you. I'm Zamir Shukho. I'm the GP and the founder of Vibranium VC Venture Fund. We are a Silicon-based venture firm that invests in B2B SaaS startups who are entering US market or who are already here. And I've worked with Gary since 2014. Good to see a great progress, and we'll be happy to judge some interesting startups. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Okay, Igor. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, Gary. Good to see you too. Hello, everybody. My name is Igor Ryabinki. I'm a founder and GP of Altair. We invest in early stage startups, do it successfully. During last 10 years, we already grown number of unicorns and a few decacorns. So we are looking forward to find new companies whom together we can bring to the same heights.
Okay, thank you. Nelly?
Hi, everyone, and so cool to see familiar faces here. My name is Nelly. I'm founder and CEO at InMind, which is the leading European ecosystem for tech startups and venture capitalists. During 5 or even a bit more years, we were working as a vertical agnostic platform, helping our VC network to identify the best startups for their portfolios and to connect them with each other. But in 2021, we decided to pivot and focus into Web3 and crypto vertical specifically. Since then, we are working with Web3 and crypto projects and VCs. We also have InMind Capital, our VC network, that invests specifically in early stage Web3 startups, infrastructure projects, NFT, GameFi. We invested in 12 projects in last year. And right now we are scaling globally, invested not only in Europe, but also in a couple of Chinese projects, Latin America, UK, not yet making investment in US, but hope to find some cool projects there. And here I'm with two hats. From one side, looking for cool projects to invest in potentially from InMind Capital side. And another hat is looking for the projects that could match the interests of our close VC network. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you, Nelly. Oh, I forgot my good friend Leon. How you doing, Leon? Sorry about that. You got to take it off mute, Leon. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Thank you, Gary. You didn't forget me. I'm here. So, my name is Leon Eisen. I'm inventor of the world's first FDA cleared medical monitor at risk. And I'm a serial entrepreneur, venture partner, and senator at World Business Angel Investment Forum. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Gaio, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. You're on mute.
I learned a lesson. Hey, my good buddy, how are you?
Good.
Well, above all, greetings to everyone from Chile, Belgrade. It's really freezing out here. First of all, Gary, Jordan, and Jane, I would like to thank you for your trust. And I must admit that I was looking forward to today's event with quite excitement, since this is the first time you're organizing such event as for within the startup network. And I would really like to meet all the startup participants, and luckily with some of them we are going to continuously work through GSD Studio. So as far as my background, I'm a senior finance executive with more than 17 years of experience in financial management administration. Mostly I started in a corporate and turned into startups. So I generally work with startups, SME and SMB organization. So I'm currently a CFO Fashion Union LLC from Belgrade. It's a UK Serbian business. We are generally considered as an apparel manufacturer specializing in lightweight knitwear, and we're a vibrant online retailer which delivers fast fashion and affordable prices. As far as my consultancy experience, I generally work as a freelance consultant, and mostly I advise startups in pre-seed and seed stage. I'm also representative of 2 multifamily offices and an investment fund from Southeast Europe that mainly invest in deep tech, health tech, financial technology, and industry agnostic startups. So, so that would be pretty much of all. I'm pretty excited and looking for this great pitch.
Yeah, no, thank you. And some people, Ariel, are you here? Yeah, are you here, Ariel?
Yeah. I'm here.
Go
nice
ahead.
meeting you guys here. So, do you need short words about me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Hello, guys, and nice meeting you. I'm Ariel Karan, and I just sent a message in our group. So I'm a founder of Unicorn's Garden crowdfunding platform based in Sweden, as well as I'm a founder of different fintech projects and some unique projects, like we are developing Pangea Ultima, which is the first digital country. It's a huge ecosystem of different services and so on. So we are looking for the new interesting projects connected with social networking, fintech, as well as health tech and ed tech.
That's great. Thank you very much. Adrian, I think I missed you. Sorry about that. There you are.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Gary, for the opportunity to be here and contribute. I'm Adrian Niculescu, serial entrepreneur and investor, and I'm here on behalf of Tomorrow Works Capital. We are focused but not limited to Web3, and our thesis is people before startups. So we bet a lot on the human capital. Can't wait to see the pitches and to find the next unicorn. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Eddie, it's been a while. You here? Eddie Lear. No. There he is. No. Waleed, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, guys. This is Waleed Al-Bashir from Intuitive Ventures. I'm the managing partner. And on the personal level, I've been in technology for 27 years with special interest in robotics, deep tech, AI, and Web3. And glad to be here among the jury members. And we're looking forward to see exciting stuff as Gary and his team brings always. Best of luck for everybody today.
Yeah. So is there anybody else that I missed? Anybody that I missed? Aston, you're an investor?
Yes. Yeah, thank you for the invite. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Aston Pierce. I'm a growth equity investor at Edison Partners. We're currently right now investing out of our 10th fund. It's $450 million investment vehicle, really focused on enterprise software, healthcare software, and fintech. I spend a lot of time in Web3, VR, AR, cybersecurity, and then the future of work. Really excited to see the pitches, and thank you for inviting me to this event.
Okay, super. Thank you. Alexis, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, I'm Alex Sheikh, Supercap Group Partner. We represent ultra net worth individuals and single family offices with the current assets of 3 billion, and we focus on fintech mainly.
All right, super. Thank you very much. Let's see. Am I missing anybody?
Gary, hello, it's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, how are you? Oh, okay, super. Sorry about that. I just don't see you on there. Go ahead.
No, I think there's different screens. Anyway, good to see you again. Thank you for inviting me. So I am Kevin Smith. I run a business consultancy based in the UK. We are sector agnostic. We are involved with businesses from concepts through to raising finance, Series A, Series B, but also seed and pre-seed. And we help to mentor the business and to hold the hand of the founders and just make sure that they're doing everything that they should be doing to grow. I've been involved doing that for about 26 years for my own business, and often being asked to get involved in these sort of events and such things. So a wide network, and I have worked in about 45 countries. So whilst we're UK focused, we also have a broad global experience.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. William, I haven't seen you for a long time. It's been a while. How are you?
Hi, Gary. Yeah, I have not been joining any Zoom calls recently since the market opening up. Hi, guys. I'm William Du from Engineers House, KL. We are in financial services. And for the last 2 years, we have been actively investing in fintech, healthcare, and agriculture. So we are involved in vertical farming. We are also involved in stem cell as well. So we are actively building the ecosystem in Malaysia. And then we want to expand it to Southeast Asia for the next 3 years. Okay. And recently our SPAC announced acquisition of our business combination of fintech companies in Malaysia. So once that is completed, then we'll actually push it to the Southeast Asia region, right? So I look forward to hear the pictures today. Thank you. Back to you, Gary.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Omar. Sorry about that. I almost missed you. How are you today? You need to, yep.
Hi, everybody. I'm doing well. I'm here representing Qubit Ventures out of Egypt and the Tech Ranch here in Austin, Texas. I'm speaking from Austin, Texas, but I basically do venture partner, early stage venture development work and support and helping investors and founders find each other across borders. Glad to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. Yuria, how are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you. Hope everybody's doing great. Greetings from Frisky, Milano, Italy. I'm a strategy execution expert. I've been a co-founder and I spend a lot of time reviewing decks and pitches, looking for nice investments from some clubs and some family offices that I'm working with. I'm particularly interested in today in what is it about, I'd say, new wave of fintech, some edtech, and agritech. I think there are some interesting things to see today. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Okay, thank you. Marco, I don't think I had you yet. Are you here?
Yes, that's correct. So hello, Gary. Hello, everyone. So my name is Marco Kurren from Sparkmind Venture Capital, Helsinki, Finland-based edtech early stage VC specialist. Running a fund which has a global mandate, but of course focusing mostly on European edtechs. But happy to see all the pitches today. Good luck for everyone. Thanks.
Yep, thank you. And Walt, are you here?
Hey, Gary, it's great to be here. Top of the morning to everyone. Sorry, my internet has been intermittent. I'm going in and out, but excited to be here today.
All right, thank you. Then thanks, everyone. Thanks to all the judges for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And with that, Victoria?
Yes, of course. Just give me a second. All right. So before we go into startup pitches, I'm just gonna briefly tell judges to triple check the voting thing. So this morning you should have received an email from Jane with your individual voting links. So to vote, please first find your individual voting link in your email. Then make sure that you are on the event page currently. Make sure that it's the right event. You will see 9 startups that are going to be presenting today, and I'm going to share their list in a second. Make sure that you're logged into your profile, and your profile is on the top right corner of the page. You should see your picture. And make sure that you see the numbers beneath each startup. So the numbers range from 1 to 5. We had a question today. So how do you rank startups? And it's up to your judgment. How do you rank startups? But usually we suggest that you rank startups on your view of their potential of becoming a unicorn. So this can be about product market fit. This can be about financial performance. But we all know that it's a huge mix of all of these factors, and we trust your judgment on that. You don't need to click any submit buttons or anything. It's just that while startups are presenting, you can start ranking them, and you only need to choose the number, and that will be it. The page automatically records this information, and then later we're gonna, once everyone pitches, we're gonna announce the winners. So no submit buttons or anything. It's fairly straightforward. If you have any issues, feel free to text in the chat. And we have my amazing colleague here with us today, Mary. She is calling us from Ukraine, and she is one of our other event managers. So she is generally supporting me with tech support, and she will be able to help you if anything happens. Just to see that everything here is right. And let's...
A quick question, Victoria.
Yes, go ahead, Jordan.
Is the voting coming from Jane?
Yes.
Okay.
Or from Gary. It should be either from Jane or from Gary. Let me check.
One more time.
It should be coming either from Jane or from Gary, and let's check. Take a second to ensure that we have no tech issues.
This Walid here, Veronica, Victoria, sorry.
Yes.
I didn't have I didn't get the voting links in my email. If you could get somebody to send it over, please.
Of course. Jane will double check that since she has communication channels with everyone. And meanwhile, while we're figuring this out, I'm just gonna briefly talk about our format here. So we have 9 startups, and I'm gonna announce them in the order. And each founder will have 3 minutes for pitching and 5 minutes for the Q&A. I'm gonna have my own timer, and I'm gonna be stopping founders once they reach 3 minutes for the pitching and 5 for the Q&A in the interest of everyone's time. And we recommend to the founders to not mention any fundraising out loud because we are broadcasting all over the world and some countries have restrictions on that. So you can show on the slides your financials, obviously, but don't say out loud how much you're raising. And you can use chat or Q&A or other channels for communication for that particular reason. Thank you very much. And we already checked everything. And I can give you guys a word of advice that what tends to happen is that our judges have a few questions that they constantly ask our startups. One of the questions is, so what is your product? The other is, so how are you making money? And the third one is, so how are you different from the competition? Make sure that you mention these things and make sure to keep your answers concise and precise, just so we can ensure better communication and everyone has a chance to ask you questions. And with that, our tech support is ongoing. And let me pass the stage to our first startup, NFTA. This is Ben coming in from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. So Ben, please take it away. And you have 3 minutes and counting. Let's go.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name's Ben Gear, and I am CEO and co-founder of NFTA. So NFTA provides Web3 SaaS merchandising capabilities and redistribution rights for digital assets and projects by providing a constant suite of on-chain verifiable art to print-on-demand and merchandising companies. So as opposed to other ecosystems, we don't just facilitate the multi-billion-dollar resale market of digital assets, but we also cater to providing utility to those assets so that projects and holders can monetize their ownership. So billions of dollars of NFTs are sat unmonetized every single day. The fashion industry is saturated with knockoffs. Starting a Web3 company is expensive and time consuming, and access to funding can be very difficult, and stock images have become absolutely stale. So at NFTA, we solve this through NFT monetization. Our revolutionary e-commerce and profit redistribution systems allow digital asset NFT owners to monetize their digital art and collectibles. NFTs become available for everyone around the world to use in creating merchandise, fashion brands, websites, videos, anything you can think of, we can supply it. And we are providing the infrastructure to completely remove the barriers of entry to Web3 and the fashion industry for new and existing NFT brands. So we are providing real-world utility to the Web3 and the blockchain. So on-chain verifiable fashion brands can be created with a few clicks of a button and worn in real life and both the metaverse. We can monetize your digital assets through our first of a kind monetization market. So a good way to think of it is if you're renting out your digital assets, and we can deploy entire NFT collections, Web3 applications, and create Web3 business models with zero code knowledge in a matter of clicks. So what we are aiming to do is elevate the entire Web3 space. Print-on-demand companies, merchandisers, and fashion brands gain access to millions of unique and evolving digital NFT artworks and collectibles to use however they want to use. NFT creators gain instant utility for their collections and create physical brands around their NFTs in a matter of minutes. Artists and businesses can deploy their entire NFT collections and business models with a minting application, smart contracts, front end, the whole shebang, all with zero code knowledge in a matter of minutes. And collectors and NFT owners, importantly, can monetize their assets instead of just simply hoping that one day they can flip them for a bit of profit. So we have achieved a fair bit since we got started. We've deployed a multi-chain NFT marketplace and our zero code minting dApp deployment ecosystem, or what we've coined MAS, which is helping to tokenize businesses in Australia already.
Ben, you have 15 seconds left, so make sure to mention all your
40 large NFT projects, including ecosystem partners such as Hepton Chain and so on. We've got the revenue there that we can't talk about on camera. And look, our money comes from the marketplace fees. We've got 2% transaction fees on our NFT marketplace, which we've already deployed. We supply custom packages to our clients and tokenized businesses. We have a minting as a service ecosystem, or MAS, which generates a 5% fee on every single mint.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Wrap up. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and it's great to have a chat.
Yep, awesome. You can leave on any slide that you want. and any slide that you think would be most productive for the discussion. And let's start with the Q&A with judges. I see that one of the startups is also raising their hand to ask a question. Let's give judges a priority, but if we're going to have some time, then you're also welcome to ask your question. So I see Nelly raising her hand, but judges, you can also take it from here and just unmute yourself, ask your questions in a very free, open panel discussion. So please go ahead and ask away.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. And thank you for your pitch. Let me give you a chance to elaborate on your traction, probably because you didn't have enough time, and it's one of the most important factors. Don't elaborate on 40 NFT projects. I guess it's a kind of business partnership, but what about clients, revenue streams, Australian clients, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we say we've partnered with those large NFT projects, what that means is that we are supplying their merchandise officially around the globe. So we've got some in Europe, we've got obviously some in Australia, and we've got some in the US. So we are supplying merchandise via our ecosystem for their communities. We also have obviously the businesses which we are tokenizing. We're currently tokenizing a real estate flipping business. So we've got a lot of clients in there that sort of come together in family trusts. They flip properties, and we've tokenized that for a couple of different businesses that are doing similar things.
Can you describe one paying client?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we have a look, we've got a contract signed with Printful to supply the actual stock imagery for their print-on-demand platform. So they are obviously one of the bigger print-on-demand companies globally. We also have partnerships with a few big NFT projects. So Shrine has over 120,000 members in their community. They make regular sales every single month. I don't know if we can talk about numbers without getting cancelled, but the numbers are good. We've got a few good clients there.
I'm going to quickly jump in because I think this is an awesome discussion. You can mention your revenue, but fundraising mainly applies to saying we are raising this amount of money for this round, for this purposes. But you can mention your revenues, you can mention your profits, and hence I wanted to say that to also give you a chance to mention that to Nelly.
Yeah, absolutely. So revenue-wise, we've made 60,000 US in the last 3 months, and basically all of that is pretty much net profit. So the overheads were very minimal because everyone works sweat equity. Everything from this point onwards is basically just cake, money on top of the cake.
Awesome. Yeah, sure, Igor.
Yeah, well, the too many lines of sales. Do you have your business model? What is the real business model?
Yeah, absolutely. So our real business model is, if I can find the right slide, we are making revenue via merchandise supply. The actual physical supply of these merchandise products for these other projects, and there's $54 billion worth of these projects around the globe. We are targeting those projects and providing a service for them whereby we can actually create on-chain verifiable products rather than just anyone throwing a bit of clothing on a picture on a bit of clothing. All of our stuff is on-chain verifiable. We also have obviously our NFT marketplace platform fees.
I'm so sorry. It's enough because you count all your bullet points, but you don't mention what is business model. We can sell.
It's business to business, business to customer.
Services. We can. If you are a startup and you wanna become really big story, you should have really your business model. What you do, not like you can do everything what you will be asked for.
Yep. So we're business to business and business to customer SaaS platform.
SaaS platform or supplying merchandise. Net profit or then merchandise cost you nothing. You totally confused me.
So sorry, I don't understand. Which
you told that you are like B2B SaaS platform, but the same main income is from supplying merchandise. If you supply merchandise, so you buy it or you produce it, so you cannot have all your money as net profit. So you totally
our SaaS platform actually helps facilitate the supply of merchandise. So we have a whole bunch of suppliers booked into our back end, which helps supply other people with merchandise. So we are tying all of it together through our SaaS platform.
Okay, I hope my colleagues will understand better than me. Thank you.
Yeah, can I ask a follow-up on that? So can you double click on, I understand all the revenue models, but where are you spending the time right now? And how is the revenue broken out between your different offerings?
And we have 10 seconds for that. So please Ben, make sure to mention that.
Yep. So our current development is obviously on scaling our MVP. Currently, we are also working on implementing all of our metaverse side of things. So that's, that in 10 seconds, that's sort of where we're working at here on the left there, future developments.
Awesome. Please also, judges, feel free to connect to our panelists to ask the follow-up questions. Maybe you will want to partner with them in the future. Maybe you will consider them for investing. And with that, thank you, Ben, very much. Stay in touch, obviously.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes. And let's move on to, you can stop sharing now. Let's move on to our second startup, which is Image Machine. And coming from Singapore, Marcus, please be my guest. You have 3 minutes and counting.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marcus, and I'll be presenting about how my startup, Image Machine, will be building human connections in the virtual world. So as an entrepreneur, many of my existing network did not understand my struggles. Many times I felt lonely in my journey, so I turned to online communities to seek out other people I could relate to. But however, most digital communities can feel isolating and intimidating. In these places, loneliness perpetuates loneliness. Many of these communities are centered around gaming, and in these spaces, people tend to be less polite because when they view people as virtual avatars, it can be a rather dehumanizing experience. It's easy for people to forget that behind a digital avatar is a real person behind the computer screen. As such, these gaming communities perpetuate a cycle of isolation and loneliness. So Image Machine, we create a bridge to the real world. We want people to stream themselves as lifelike avatars of themselves. It will act as a means for strangers to connect in a safe manner. We want it to feel as intimate as an in-person meeting so that people can feel like the person is right in front of them. So how our technology will work? First, you put on a Microsoft HoloLens. You then see the other person projected in your view in your augmented reality headset. So on the other end, motions of the other person are reflected in real time in your headset. Any motion they make will be captured by our proprietary artificial intelligence technology that will transmit it over to your headset. So right now, we are currently pre-revenue. However, we have more than 10,000 signups for MVP. At the moment, we're connecting people using existing platforms and establishing a user base who will be our metaverse's first users. So my team is highly experienced in this domain, together with more than 40 years combined experience in the computer-generated imagery field. So I'm the CEO, I've secured grants, I've built our team, and I've forged partnerships with different companies. Two of my co-founders, Wee Kang and Simon, are both serial entrepreneurs, and our sales director has more than 20 years of sales experience in the APAC region. So we're currently looking for investment. So I took out the quantity because I can't mention it today. Yeah, but your investment.
And you have 15 seconds to go. So make sure to mention everything you want.
Your investment will help many people to feel less lonely and build meaningful connections without having to leave their comfort zone. Come to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. And we can transition to the Q&A. You can leave your presentation at any slide at which you think it would be most meaningful. And judges, feel free to just ask away your questions.
This is Stanley here. Just a quick question. Thanks for the quick presentation. What was, of course, this has gone through the pilot stage. And what I want to know is that what was the feedback on the most challenging aspect of this from the pilot stage and the testing stage?
I think the most challenging feedback is definitely projecting the person in real time, because our artificial intelligence model has to be accurate. There's no use having this if the projection is not accurate after all. So we are still working on ironing that out before we release it for the mass market.
May I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Yeah, what's your difference in between of your product and, let's say, Facebook Oculus? I mean, technologically and strategically.
Okay, so for Facebook, actually, they are more interested in monetizing the entire metaverse space, and they are not really interested in building the connections. Therefore, their avatars, for example, are very game-like, whereas we want to make it a more immersive experience, so that instead of seeing gaming avatars, you see an actual realistic avatar. So I actually have an example. So like in this case, the standard we're trying to achieve is like the woman on the right side and the people here, where it really looks like the actual person rather than a game type of avatar.
Yeah, I also have a question. Marcus, you made a nice presentation of the concept, but I didn't hear much about business behind.
Sure.
Actually, nothing. What are you selling here? Hardware, or it will be subscription-based in the metaverse, or you are selling future advertising? What is, can you please elaborate?
Sure. So it will be a SaaS platform. And how we'll be making revenue is that first, we'll be through advertising. You're right on that. The second would be pay-to-view activities. So for example, if you are a performer, rather than traditionally hiring like a stage to perform, you can perform in a metaverse platform, and then you'll charge tickets to people who want to buy it, and we'll take a percentage cut of those tickets. So this is just an example of pay-to-view activities. We plan to host a wide variety of pay-to-view activities, and then we foresee earning most of the revenue from pay-to-view activities.
I have a question for you. I have invested in a company that is doing art fair virtual in a metaverse. And one of the issues we had was that a lot of the potential user had to buy all the goggles and everything to be able to connect on the fast speed, to be able to interact and enter as a metaverse, to eventually see an art fair. And so have you thought eventually, because you are kind of pointing to a lot of young people, and how to be sure that they can afford to have a speed enough to be able, as an internet, to be able to be and appreciate eventually the experience, and how you will see to give them the potential to buy all the equipment technically to be able to be in your big community?
Oh, that's a good question. So actually, most of our signups come from gaming communities. Right now, a lot of my signups are actually from Discord. So for a lot of the gaming communities, they actually already own VR headsets. So we don't actually have to ask them to purchase a VR headset. And if they want to view the person on the other end, the other person on the other end only needs a camera. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Any other questions?
This is Jordan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Jordan.
Give me a good use case, a simple use case. I'm a client of yours. I'm a user of yours. Walk me through a basic utility of what you're going to offer me. please.
And you're going to have about 20 seconds to do that. So I think this is a good elevator pitch time.
Sure. So imagine you have a celebrity that's on our platform and you want to meet this celebrity in our platform. So imagine this celebrity is a dancer, okay? So instead of paying $100 for a ticket to watch her in person, you can pay like $50 and you can get good views of her rather than watch her from far. And in our metaverse platform, you can watch her in your living room as if she's right in front of you. Does that answer your question?
Let's talk offline. I think the utility is more than that, but let's talk offline.
Sure.
And thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. And let's pass the mic to our next.
Just a small suggestion, Victoria, before moving to the next one. Since the good practice has so far shown that the option of raising hands is a good to follow the order of each judges before voting, so that it's much better if you just follow that each judge just raises its hand before moving to the next one who's asking question. Is it possible?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, let's establish that as a practice. I can make sure that the order is followed, but also judges, you should be able to see each other raising hands. So we can just make sure that everyone who raised their hands got their question answered before next people start talking.
Thank you very
much. That sounds great. Sure, of course. And our next startup is Simply Capital from the USA. And Vivek, feel free to take it away. And you have 3 minutes and counting. Let's go. I think you're muted.
I am. Thank you.
Yes, good. Now I can hear you. Good. Yes,
perfect.
Go ahead.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Let me see. Yeah. So 94% of the US mid-market companies still use spreadsheets to manage and forecast cash flows, and because of which 3/4 of them still have poor cash flows. Hi, my name is Vivek, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Simply Capital. For businesses looking to maximize cash availability, Simply Capital uses artificial intelligence to optimize working capital. So how do we do it? We enable faster receivables, where our forecasting algorithms have a 90+% accuracy, increasing cash predictability. And our strategies inside Simply Capital enable invoice collections to be faster by 25% plus faster. We also enable the customers to get our clients to get paid in 135 different ways, where we are building a pay and get paid platform. On the other hand, on the payables perspective, from a payables perspective, Simply Capital enables smarter payables. We're actually filing an IP for our optimization engine that uses a variety of factors to optimize and rearrange your supplier payment dates to realize a 20% plus cash savings, and then also utilize the pay and get paid platform. So faster receivables combined with smarter payables results in an optimized working capital for companies that on an average, they can get a 20% more cash availability, enabling them to borrow less from their lines of credit and have more money to invest in growth. So what makes us unique? So if you look at the left-hand side of the page on the Venn diagram, we've broken it out into 3 main areas. First is companies that focus on receivables products and receivables process improvement. Second is companies where you have companies focused on payables products, specifically focused on payables automations. And then you have companies that are pure payment providers. Simply Capital combines all these 3 different facets to provide an integrated working capital platform. And our unique selling point on the right-hand side is that our SaaS product deploys in hours. Our AI engine seamlessly connects receivables and payables. We are building an integrated payment platform. And we also have algorithms to compare your major KPIs externally with your competitors. In terms of traction, we did a successful POC in June of last year. We are pre-revenue. We launched our MVP in August. We signed up our first customer, onboarded our first customer in November of last year. We've also signed 2 GTM partnerships with 3 implementations in this quarter. Our sales strategy is a 5-pronged approach. The first is GTM partnerships, where we plan to partner with companies offering adjacent solutions.
You have 10 seconds to go. You have 10 seconds to go.
Thanks. Our second is our industry and trade associations, where we plan to be our preferred vendors. And then white labeling our products with banks and financial institutions and ERP marketplaces.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move to the questions. And judges, you can also feel free to ask questions about the aspects that were not mentioned during the pitch because of time restrictions or other reasons. And let's start with Jordan then. Jordan, please go ahead.
Great work, Vivek. Thanks. 3 questions. Give me the key metrics on your customer acquisition. Give me how much money you need to get, not how much money you're raising, how much total money you're going to need capital.
He can't say, he can't say how much money he's raising.
That's allowed. That's perfectly legit. How much capital you need to get to cash positive in your journey for the next couple of years?
Sorry, Jordan, I could hear you properly.
I need how much capital you need to become cash positive, not how much you're raising. And give me the metrics on customer acquisition and the customer lifetime values and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, so in terms of becoming cash positive, I think if I remember off the top of my head, it's in my financial models. I think we need to have revenues of about 1.3 million that we are targeting to be by March of next year. In terms of our customer acquisition, we've got a 38% success rate with lead gen companies, where we are looking to partner more with them. We've actually signed up 2 lead gen companies where we are using their ecosystem of members to conduct interviews and also finalize our pricing strategies from there.
Yet I don't have a sense for lifetime values. The value of each customer, is it 10,000 a year, 50,000 a year? Give us these numbers.
Okay, so we have this is a subscription SaaS model, Jordan. So our pricing tiers ranges from $200 a month to $2,000 a month. So depending on the size of the company, you will have different customer lifetime values.
Jordan, does that answer your question? Is that good?
Not really, but it's time for others to ask questions.
All right. You guys know the order in which you raised your hand, so feel free to go ahead, and I'm watching.
Hi, Walid here.
Hi, Walid.
My question is regarding the traction. What sort of traction that you have had till today, and are you tapping into stuff like gross margin, because this is also a major bottleneck, especially small businesses are facing things like gross margin against shelf time and stuff like that using the same platform.
Yeah, it's a great question. So in terms of traction, that's what you see on the page right here. It's heavily dependent on our API development. So our first API we've released it for QuickBooks Online, and so we've got customers lined up on QuickBooks Online. The 3 planned implementations that you see in Q1 of next year, we are building our next API that's going to be released this month for Microsoft Dynamics, and that's there. And a lot of these companies were closing their books in December. So Jan and Feb is going to be a really busy period for us. We're actually in the process of signing an agreement to become a preferred vendor for a Granite and Stone Trademark Association, which gives us access to 102 of their members. So the conversations in the first couple of weeks of Jan have been really good. In terms of your second part of your question, Vaid, we are not looking at inventory at this point and not looking at gross margins. We are purely looking at optimizing working capital using levers with AI on receivables and payables. Does that help?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, can I ask, because I could not understand what is unique in your solution and what exactly business, because I don't understand what does it mean to connect payable to receivable. So please, in few words, how you help companies to create working capital? What exactly company does with your solution?
Sure. Great question. So if you think about it, if your cash coming in from your receivables is slowing down because your customers are not paying you on time, then you have lesser money to make payments to your suppliers. So what we are doing is we are connecting receivables and payables to make sure that the money coming in from your receivables is tied to the money going out to your payables. At the same time, when I say smarter payables, what I mean is we use our algorithm. Our algorithm looks at a lot of different factors like early payment discounts, like late payment penalties. How can you reshift payment dates a couple of days before or after to realize those discounts programs? And thereby, that's how we realize the 20% plus cash savings.
Thank you very much. That's all we have time for now, but you guys should feel free to connect like outside the event and talk about this. And thank you so much for your presentation. That was great. And our next startup, Africa Green Tech AG from Germany, Enzo, please go ahead. You have 3 minutes and I'm starting the timer.
Yeah, thank you. So 600 million people in sub-Saharan Africa do not have access to electricity. And by solving this issue, 400 million jobs can be created or improved by 2030. I'm Enzo Sensi, and I'm Finance Acquisition Manager at Africa Green Tech. Since 2016, we built stand-alone solar solutions that empower rural communities by providing them with reliable and affordable sources of electricity, which increases productivity and therefore multiplies their incomes by more than 300%. We dispose of 3 business lines that address a huge customer potential across Africa for solar energy. First, the impact site, already set up in 4 countries. Second, the impact products, such as solar power plants, solar water plants, fridges, and solar kits. And third, the electrification of companies and institutions with high electricity demand. Our core product, the impact site, is a holistic solution that includes several offers beside electricity generation, such as water purification system, smart cooling system, agricultural devices for the community, and internet access. Africa Green Tech is already operating in 20 villages in 4 different countries with local subsidiaries in place, but we dispose of a large pipeline across 9 countries. First with the CNI project, where we secured deals with big humanitarian organizations and that ensure us continuous revenues for the next years. And then with the impact sites, we have more than 200 sites already secured via an established pipeline. And finally, with the impact products, we already have considerable deal in Mali. As you can see on the slide, we trust that our presence on the field and our local workforce will continue helping us serve the communities and expand our activities across the continent. According to the World Bank study, the number of mini grids connected will be multiplied by 11 to reach 210,000 connected systems by 2030. Africa will massively increase its global performance in the coming decades, and in the next 30 years, 25% of the world's population will live in Africa. Africa is the fastest growing continent in terms of both population and GDP. As you can see, the impact potential is huge and you can be part of it. Being one of the pioneers of the industry allowed us to have a frontline spot in the market, especially due to our several business lines that address all types of customers in need of renewable energy solution. We hope to multiply our turnover by 4 in 2023, thanks to the impact products and the CNI forecasted revenues. In terms of impact, we aim to electrify 2.1 million people, save 1,000 tons of CO2, provide 61,000 of small businesses with clean electricity by 2030. In order to achieve this mission, we are now fundraising for our Series B and the investment fund.
You have 10 seconds to go.
We are setting up to finance the impact side activities. You can be part of Africa's growth by investing in us and joining the adventure. Together, we can drive the world toward a better place.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. You can leave your presentation on any slide that you want to. And I see in our order, judges, please go ahead. We have 5 minutes. You know in which order you're raising your hands. So please go ahead and ask your questions.
Can I just...
I think we had Stanley and Igor before that. So
okay.
It's Igor, Stanley, Walid, and Dr. Laya.
Thank you.
No, I'm sorry, I don't have questions, sorry.
Okay, I'll just take it away there. Perfect. Thank you very much for the presentation. I mean, there's no doubt this is a critical need for the continent. I think one of the challenges is it's not the mini grids, but the infrastructure that actually gets the electricity to the houses. Now, have you factored that into your if I can say your project management structures here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, I totally understand. Very good question. So yeah, speaking about the grid, so that connect the solar tenors to the households, we started by financing the grid by ourselves in Mali, but we also understood that it's very complicated to be cost effective if we finance the grid by ourselves. So we are at the moment applying for grants. And there are a lot of grants out there. I mean, there are grants out there, and we are applying for grants in order to get this grids finance, for the impact side.
Okay, just get hold of me. I'm outside of this forum, and we can talk through it. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Great work you've been doing, and thank you for the presentation. Considering the large capex, and as this is in connection with the Stanley question, actually, I know that you get a lot of support, to subsidize this upfront cost from grants and others. But keeping that aside, what is the business model like? Because I see, are you a fund that's funding this and then anticipated return on longer stage, or how does your unit economy looks like? We're glad also to connect in East Africa. We've got very good presence in Ethiopia, in Tanzania, Kenya, South Sudan. We'd love to get connection there.
Yeah, also very good question. So we started, we thought that we could finance the next impact site just by generating revenues, but we understood that in order to refine how to finance a big amount of impact site at the same time, we needed a lot of funds. And that's why at the moment we are setting up, and we are at the end of setting up this impact investment fund, as you can see on the screen. This impact investment fund is going to be 60 million, and this will help us to finance 300 impact sites. And yes, this is how we plan to finance the impact sites.
How does the unit economy look like? I mean, apart from the fund, it's like it's close-ended or open-ended, stuff. So is your unit economy, are you acting as a fund, or do you have a specific unit economy out of that?
Yeah, so basically you can see here that we are generating revenue. So basically we have 3 business lines. So the first is impact site, where we generate revenues in the villages. Then we have the impact products. The impact products are the sustainable product that we can sell in the villages as well, separate from selling electricity. And third is the CNI. So CNI is basically our client will be the humanitarian organizations or big companies in Africa that want to switch from using diesel generators than to use solar energy. And we, at the moment, we will make money and more money with CNI revenues, and this will also help us to sustain the impact site business line that generates less money. Yeah.
Clear.
My question. Thank you. I listened your presentation second time, and always I have the question: how do actually you get people pay you? Because in Africa, I'm in a board of the Global African Leadership Council, and the main problem is to get paid in Africa. And what I see, in 1 year, you have pilots in one country, another year, another country, another year, another country. But actually, each country characterized by different capabilities to pay and all this stuff. So it looks very nice on the blackboard, yeah. But actually, you get paid. How you get money from village in Africa? This is huge challenge. And why you jump from one country to another and not to get more insight in one country and build the business model within one country? Each country is something different.
That's very true. You have 15 seconds to answer that
question. Yes, I'm going to answer very quickly. First, I would say that we don't go to a country or in an area where we don't know if we can integrate the market and if people will really need the electricity. And second, we are a prepaid solution so that people first pay and then receive the kilowatt hour. And I don't know, there were a lot of questions in the same area. Why do we integrate several countries? So, for example, we realized that in Madagascar, it's
if you can please wrap up with just a few bullet points.
We don't integrate a country or on an area where we know it's not going to be useful, or the villagers are not gonna use the electricity. And second, if I can finish, we believe in the productive use of electricity, meaning that the people that buy the electricity from Africa Green Tech are also, and mainly, small and medium companies that need electricity to generate revenues. So of course,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very true. Our next startup, thank you for your presentation. Our next startup is Enerix from Israel. So Neve, you can take it away. You have 3 minutes.
One sec. Just.
All right. And you're almost there.
Yep. You can see it
okay,
well?
we can see that. Yep. Thank you. Okay, starting the timer.
Thank you very much. Hi, I don't know if you all know, but air conditioning accounts for the majority of energy expenses in commercial buildings. My name is Neve, and I'm the CEO of Enerix AI. And our solution is relevant to any commercial building with high cooling energy expenses. By constantly analyzing the effect of external weather conditions over the building's internal temperature and humidity, our predictive algorithm proactively optimizes the air conditioning operation work plan. This is enabling us to guarantee a 17 to 35% reduction in the building's cooling energy expenses. This is opposed to a typical building automation system that offers only a reactionary solution that designed and operating constantly to meet extreme weather conditions. Our main challenge and benefit, of course, is the energy, but beside that, we're also improving the maintenance condition of the air conditioning system, and we extend the air conditioning lifespan of the equipment, and we also improve the air comfort of the end users. If you're familiar with the Google Nest, we are exactly like Google Nest for commercial buildings. Our target site, as I said before, is any commercial building with high energy costs, such as hotels, nursing homes, university campuses, office buildings, shopping centers, and even air-cooled plants with high energy air conditioning cost. Our predictive algorithm, our competitive advantage is, of course, the predictive algorithm. Of course, the proactive autonomous operation. We are not just giving insights and recommendation, we are actually controlling the air conditioning system. And we also have a unique part of the algorithm is taking into consideration also the humidity inside the building, which is not happening with other solutions. We're also non-intrusive system. We're cheater expert, it's a patent protected, it's a low-cost installation that enables us to have a quick growth, and it's an independent system, so we're not relying on other solutions. In the US alone, there is $80 billion annual energy consumption for commercial buildings. The chiller technology, which is the one that we are specialized in, is 60% for that. And since we guarantee 17% savings, it's about $8 billion annually. And for that, since our business model is about 50% of those savings, it's $4 billion potential revenues annually. As I said before, we're targeting only a fraction of this amount with 11 in 3 years, which would be 11.2 million recurring annual revenue.
Nev, you have 15 seconds to go, so make sure that you cover all your points.
We're going to get to that with 443 sites, 18 distributors, equals to 191,000 metric tons of CO2 reduction, and we are going to raise this round in order to fulfill the existing strategic partners that we already received.
Amazing.
Again, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
To answer any questions.
Yeah, we can start. So judges, please take it away.
Yeah, I'll take the first question. Actually, we based in Dubai here, We understand the magnitude of the problem a lot, big size. UAE is one of the largest in terms of in terms of the carbon footprint per capita. My question to you is that we've seen recently solutions from Siemens, like Mindosphere or Tremendous AIoT that does similar stuff. What is your competitive advantage against those big players who have already got this done? And the second part of the questions, for buildings that has central AC, how do you normally deploy this?
Right. So just to emphasize here, first of all, we are expert on chiller. Chiller is a huge air conditioning, usually sits on the rooftops of commercial buildings. You can imagine the capacity they have, and each one of them is equal for a couple of hundreds of residential and regular air condition as you know them. We have our algorithm is actually enables to predict the future energy consumption of the buildings by always analyzing the effect of the external weather condition on the internal temperature and humidity. And this is something that is very unique, and this is patent protected in the US for this technology. So they don't have that, and we are also proactively. So we connect to those chillers and we activate them with a 4 days plan that is being continuously updated every couple of hours for the optimized operation.
So for the chiller on top, central AC chiller on top, you have 20 floor buildings. There are some flats that are facing the sun. There are some. Do you have a sensor in every flat, or how does it work?
No. We are deploying a representative sample of a couple of about 20 to 50 sensors around the building in strategic places, and with that we are able to analyze the operation of the whole building, as you mentioned.
Clear.
Any other questions?
Yeah, from me. So Kevin at Boom & Partners. So two quick questions. You say it is low cost to install. Please say a little bit more about that. And you also say that you guarantee 17% savings. So how do you guarantee that, and how is that measured?
All right. So we also install energy meters on each one of those chiller AC system, and then we can present not only we can use that to optimize the operation, but we also present eventually exactly undisputable way the operation and the consumption of those chillers with and without our system. It's a low cost installation since the cost of the hardware it's only a couple of sensors throughout the buildings. It's the energy meters and also a mini industrial PC that's connected to this chiller. So the hardware is very low cost, and the main cost is the R&D that we were working on. Great.
Thank you.
Quick question, Stanley. Who are your customers? Who are your actual customers? The air conditioning suppliers? Are they the individuals, homeowners? Are they the?
All right.
Who are your customers?
Our customer, it's a SaaS model, by the way. We are working our business model through distributors. We already signed. We have a 3 paid POC in progress with top Israeli strategic distributors. And we also signed a full distributor agreement with A2A Italy. It's the second largest energy suppliers in Italy. That's after a very successful pilot, a POC that we did in Milan, in one of their headquarters. Our main target is, of course, the go-to-market is the US, as I presented before, 4 billion market potential revenues. And we already have a connection, and we're finalizing agreement with BAS, Building Automation System company based in Florida to distribute our solution.
So we have about 20 seconds to go. If anyone has super quick questions, you can try to jump in.
Yeah, I got my hand raised. Stanley, don't jump the line, Stanley. Don't do that again. Come on.
Of course. You.
Sorry. 3 seconds or less, why should we invest in you?
What is, sorry?
Why should we invest in you?
Why should you invest in us? Because you can take take advantage of our situation at the moment that we don't have a lot of revenue at the moment, and we are growing very fast. And we need that in order to increase the distributor support and sales teams. And I guess a year from now, our valuation will be much, much higher than what it is at the moment because of the situation. And right now there is the global energy crisis that we want to take advantage of the situation. Sorry to say that.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, thank you. That's about what we have time for. And thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation. And I'm gonna pass the mic to our next startup, which is Tier Money from Canada. Michael, can you share your screen?
Can I just add one small suggestion before moving to the next one? Sorry, I don't like to sound like an old witch, you know, with so much requirements. What could be really beneficial for each startup when they come to the end of their presentation? Just to tell them like 30 seconds before, you know, time limits expires, please wrap up so they just can move on to the most important things that they have forgot to present within their pitch.
Yep. I think that sounds great. And also startups, I think by now you can also set a timer on your own phone. So you also are aware of your time better. And I think by now you can also see the pattern in judges' questions. So make sure to cover some of the aspects like business model, what your product is, what is your differentiation strategy, so that it's more clear. And Michael, the stage is yours, and I'm gonna start the timer. Please go ahead.
Good day, everyone. My name is Michael. Yanayo. I'm the CEO and founder of Tier Money. I'm a serial entrepreneur with 20 years of experience in building and managing large-scale products, and also a chairman of a bank, a microfinance bank in Nigeria. And my colleague here is Erica. She is the head of AML and KYC. I've also got a colleague here called Shegun. He's the chief technical officer. And John also is Chief Information Security Officers. And what are we solving today? Establishing banking operations is an expensive, fragmented, and time-consuming endeavor that requires a diverse range of skill sets and expertise. Solution: what do we provide today? We provide a platform that makes it easy to integrate financial services to businesses in weeks and not months. What's our product today? We provide card issuing, virtual bank account, FX, and disbursement. And how do we provide these services? In providing the services, we look at the regulatory coverage in different regions. So we have regulatory coverage in Europe, UK, Canada, USA, and Nigeria. And for our customers to access our platform, they use our API services to integrate into their own core solutions today. Our solution is tested. We've been running for over 12 months now, and we have over 1,000 customers, including financial institutions, using our products today. In a timely interaction, we currently process just the FX to frontier markets with over 1,000 customers, like initially said, and regulatory coverage in four or five regions. And we'll currently have a credit facility that allows us to power our solution to more of an instant solution. So when customers do the FX payment, it's instant, doesn't take days, doesn't take weeks. Our solution is also built with KYC, AML, KYB, transaction monitoring, all the juicy stuff that we need on the banking platform to be all regulated. And why now? The market is currently booming, both in Africa, both in Europe, and VCs have invested over 4.2 billion since 2016 to 2021. And the market is actually growing in size. What's our target market today? We're working with companies, and we're also targeting companies that want to integrate financial solutions into their own systems, SaaS companies, and also fintechs that want to expand their markets today. In our competition slide,
Michael, I'm gonna take advantage of Gajo's offer and say you have 30 seconds to wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The difference between us and the other competitors in the market today is we provide a one-stop solution. And our business model is we charge a commission fee on all the services we provide. The market is quite big. We're looking at the 20 billion markets today. And we're fundraising to increase our license coverage for operations and marketing, technology development. And that's all for me today. And happy to take all your questions.
Yep, of course. Sounds amazing. And I think we're going to start with Alexis, and then judges can go in order. Alexis, stage is yours.
Alex Shakes, Backup Group. Can you talk about your first go-to-market and if you have any market validation at present?
Correct. Since we're not allowed to talk about figures, but I could say we've processed, yeah, I think I'm allowed to say we've processed over $40 million to date in terms of the FX.
Yes, you're not allowed to say how much you're raising, but you're allowed to mention any other financial metrics.
Yeah, so we've processed over $40 million to date.
Okay, and what kind of market validation do you have?
So we're currently in beta testing, and we've had over 1,000 customers, and some of them also are financial institutions, and they're all repeat customers, 100%.
And why do they want to use your platform?
And they're using our platform today because we're targeting the frontier market, which the large banks and large financial institutions don't actually go to.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Can you double click on the 1,000 customers, kind of the profile of them, the size, and then also the customer acquisition strategy to date? And thank you for the presentation. It was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, so the 1,000 customers, that includes both small and large corporate organizations that want to send funds to the frontier markets. And also, they do cross-border payments, so meaning that we don't only provide one way, we provide two ways. For example, I saw some solution presently, where how do you get money from Africa? We have that solution where investors can invest in Africa, and using our technology solution, you can also receive funds from Africa. So we target the frontier market both ways.
Got it. And then can you just quickly talk on the customer acquisition? Like how have you acquired the 1,000 beta customers?
Zero marketing. Our solution is highly needed in the market today. So it's more of referral basis. So customers find about our product, and then they reach out to us, they use our solution. And that's how we've grown over the last 12 months.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very interesting presentation. Where are most of your customers located today?
In Europe and Nigeria.
Europe and Algeria?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay. Interesting. Because I know it's a huge problem to manage any Visa, MasterCard, and almost impossible to send money to Nigeria, to get money from Nigeria. So how do you succeeded to do it?
So we have, that's a secret sauce. So we have multi-currency wallets that allow the customers to hold funds in multi-currency wallet and allow them to exchange funds between their wallets.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Okay, my question is, first question is, do you sell to end customer or it is embedded solution? So end customers are not yours, you sell to financial institutions or some solutions which have customers?
So we started the product trying to build a new bank, and now there are lots of new banks. So what we decided to do was, when we began to onboard financial institutions, we found out that we're better placed at the top rather than dealing with the end customer. So now our main focus is, we have little end customers that are still using our platform, but our focus is now providing the services to financial institutions, giving them the API services to access our platform.
Okay, you mentioned that you need money to extend your license and coverage, but you have already very wide coverage, and this coverage is your own or through your partner network?
Yeah, so our direct coverage is in 2 countries, which is Nigeria and Canada today. The other countries where we operate through third-party licenses. So for us to scale to the manner which we can control, we need to actually own the licenses. So part of our strategy is to actually own the licenses rather than using third party, and also expand to other regions like Dubai, for example. It's a big market. Asia is quite a big market. We have a lot of demand to those regions as well.
And do you have your traction? I don't mean how much you get in Forex, but real traction in your GMV or net revenue.
Yes, we do, yes.
All right. That's, yes, sorry, Igor. That's
Yeah,
about
no,
as much
it's
time
okay,
as we
okay.
have.
It's okay, it's okay.
All right. But you can feel free to text Igor the answer to his question.
Okay,
And
cool.
also, again, encouraging everyone to connect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. And we're going to move to Fidjo Technologies, Inc. With Jerry. Jerry, stage is yours. Share screen.
I'm muted.
One sec.
You see my screen, Victoria?
Are you managing to share screen?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, no. Okay, now we do. Now we do.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you,
And
everyone.
I think you can take me and move me away
Oh,
slightly.
yeah, put you on the
so
side
don't
right
distract.
there. Right, thank you, Victoria.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right. Sure.
Hello, everyone. So my pitch today is humanizing ride sharing, or humanizing the Uber world. Today, a rideshare driver receives only 60% of the fare while doing 100% of the work. I am Jerry Geronimo, CEO, Fidjo Technologies. The Fidjo platform is merely a connection vehicle for driver and the rider and the courier deliveries. Our model is based on a subscription model. We charge the driver a subscription fee, allowing him to receive 100% of the fare. And the rider pays the driver directly. As opposed to Uber and Lyft, the Fidjo platform sorry, I'm getting most. The Fidjo platform will immensely and
I don't think they're
positively-
seeing you scrolling your slides.
Oh, sorry.
So just double check that you're doing that, because we'd love
Yes,
to
sorry.
see everything there. Thank you.
Yes. So as opposed to Uber and Lyft, the Fidjo platform, we will immensely and positively impact the social levels and humanitarian needs of the driver and the rider. We learned from our lesson from our pilot program in San Francisco that cash payment has a significant social impact on underserviced and underprivileged communities. While we are piggybacking on the Uber market, we also believe that we will be creating a new segment of the market within that market. And those are the users, riders that, for example, don't have credit cards or don't have any financial affiliations with the financial institutions. Basically, they live by cash. And that's a new market that we will be creating within the Uber world. And one of our differentiators too is that we are very transparent on the driver's background information and also on the photo verification.
That's amazing,
And,
Jerry. You have about 30 seconds left. Can you also scroll through your slides and also leave your presentation on the slide that is probably covers product or differentiation strategy or business model?
Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
Many alarms going on. So we have industry leaders that have 100 years of experience on the team. And Walt actually is on the line, Walt Kinpen. And we have Lance Taylor, CFO. And we have Sasha Ozeran, who was a former CEO at InDriver. And Mike Heslin, another industry advisor from Lyft. And Navid Safar from Uber. So my next slide is actually
Jerry,
the,
thank you very much. Let's actually move to the Q&A, if you don't mind, just in the interest of time.
Yes, sure.
But again, I would suggest that you scroll and you can choose any slide to stop on, whichever you want. And maybe start by, we can start with the questions actually. Igor, do you want to go ahead?
Yes. I wanted to ask. First of all, I see that you have somebody from InDriver in your team. How do you compete with them?
So what is the question again, please?
This question is, how do you compete with InDriver? You have somebody, Sasha's from InDriver. How do you compete with InDriver? Are they competition for you?
So InDriver is not in the US yet. So we're going to compete with with competition with I think the 100% giving the driver 100% is a terrific differentiator for us. And for the riders, the key differentiator for us would be the guaranteed ride. The main complaint with rideshare today is that there's 11-hour cancellations that cost riders to miss flights and meetings.
Okay.
And I think InDriver charges about 8 or 9% commission.
So still it's small. Second, okay, depends absolutely, because when you charge a subscription, depends how much driver can earn with you. So hence is my question. You can answer it offline. Your financial business model and how you cover like customer acquisition costs with this subscription and so on. So I would be glad to have a look more particularly.
Yes, I would be happy to discuss those with you. I cannot show the next slide because it has the race task. Any more questions?
Yes, this is Jordan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey man, give us just a bullet by bullet play on your traction product, if revenue, if any betas, any POCs. You can get a chance to hear all that good stuff. Just give me the bullets. Boom, 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 boom.
So from attraction, we have about 600 users in San Francisco Bay Area, and the drivers average about 2 rides per driver since in 2022, and from a revenue point of view, we intentionally are not generating revenue yet because we cannot afford to generate revenue without funding. The reason for that is that in California, to be classified a TNC or Transportation Network Company, once you start earning money, start getting revenue, will need to buy liability insurance, which can cost about $180,000 to $300,000 a year. And then we'll need to pay all these transportation fees and airport fees.
No worries. Take me to the product. Where is your platform today in terms of development, maturity, availability?
So the product is actually on the market right now, and you can download it from the website.
Thank you. Good to go, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Let someone else ask questions.
What benefits do you have for investors joining your project, and if there is an exit strategy? Which is your exit strategy, X?
Well,
why an investor should join? I'm not talking about financials, let's say, but which is like I don't know, the tagline, the hook. I didn't see the hooks.
Yes,
direct response marketing. You have, because you have a very short amount of time to catch the attention, to start the discussion. So from my point of view, I don't judge startups by the pitch decks, because most of the times pitch decks are done by agencies, so they're like detergent commercials, you know. That one is only the Kickstarter for the discussion, the hook. So I'm always looking at what's behind it. So in a nutshell, which is the main advantage for an investor joining this project? It's very simple.
Well, for the investor to join this, to join us, we believe we will be profitable in year 3, and the goal is to return 10x to investors, and some of our exit strategies, we're actually looking at it right now, is SaaS licensing to Latin American countries. We have about 3 countries very interested in discussing licensing with us. Of course, the obvious exit strategy would be will be a buyout.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. That's about the time we have, but this sounds great. Jerry, thank you for your presentation. And our next startup is MedMatch Network. Amos.
Amos, not Amos, Amos.
Amos.
That's a great name, and he's a great guy.
I apologize. You see, I'm not a native English speaker, Jordan.
He's one of the better health tech companies. So guys, vote for him. And I'm screwing the voting, but vote for Amos. He's the best guy there is.
Oh, come on, Jordan. Well, I apologize. I'm not a native English speaker. I do misspell things sometimes. So I hope you don't mind too much. And please, your presentation and 3 minutes and counting.
Believe me, native speakers also do it very often. So
that's right, 100%. Go ahead, Amos. You're on mute.
See, you messed up his name so badly. He's incredulous. He can't speak anymore.
Yeah. You're still on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you
hear me
good?
now?
Okay.
We do.
I have to reshare, unfortunately. Sorry. There we go. Share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
We do. But we don't.
But not your presentation yet.
On my presentation. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
No worries at all.
Start the system over. Share.
All blame to Microsoft.
Yeah.
Great
one. While Amos is this excuse, he's a Yale graduate and he's a neurosurgeon. I'm buying you time, Amos. Go ahead. He's a neurosurgeon. He's a Yale graduate.
Can you see my screen now?
No, not yet.
I'm not sure why. Because
we can see the screen. We just can't see the presentation. Maybe try dragging it around or resharing it specifically.
I'm going to do it again. Okay, that should share my screen. And up. Okay. Up. Okay. Special. How about escape? Apologize. Go again. Share. Can you see my screen?
Yep, you got it.
Yes.
Okay. I do have 2 screens, and I think that's the problem.
All right.
Just click on the swap displays on the top left.
On the top. How's that?
Yep, you got it.
Okay. My apologies. Too much technology. Sorry for that. My name is Amos Dari, and I'm the founder and CEO of MedMatch Network. And we're building an electronic end-to-end solution here at MedMatch Network. I'm a physician, I'm a neurosurgeon, and I became involved in this project because of the frustrations that I encountered myself trying to coordinate care for my patients. Healthcare access and delivery is outdated, is using outdated technology for our patients in the US. We're still using the fax system, phone tags. We have electronic records that are all over the place. In essence, it's very inefficient. It's very costly for the providers. They're losing money, and at the same time, it can be risky not to be able to see your patients. It's also costly to the patients. The patients are frustrated. If you've ever had more than one doctor, you understand the frustrations of trying to navigate the marketplace. What we're building at MedMatch is a single integrated B2B to C marketplace. We have a SaaS platform for the providers, which includes ancillary service providers. Those are MRI companies. And then we have a patient web application as well that integrates. What's unique about our platform is the B2B2C integrated platform that leverages AI as well as data aggregation and interoperability. This is why we have an opportunity to file a provisional patent that's pending. Patients have an application that helps them organize and schedule, connect to doctors, access portal records, and we're moving into decentralization of healthcare and a Web3 experience where patients are starting to be empowered with their data. We have a robust market with a serviceable, obtainable market of 400 million. Just business model and projection. We are subscription-based. We're also collecting transactional fees. We have 3 customers, if you will, providers and their groups, which is about 1 million. And we have medical service providers, about 30,000, and then the patients, about 300,000 here. Just a brief total revenue projection over year 1, year 2, year 3, and 4 here. We can go into that later as well. Our go-to-market strategy is the platform is live. We're enrolling services on the platform. This quarter, we're finally completing our beta testing of the patient application, and we anticipate monetizing this year. And this quarter, this year, of course. We have some traction since we launched. We have 1,600 members and adding every month. Patent is pending. We are integrating with the electronic health record system, and we were just awarded a top 10 medical practice management by Healthcare Business Review. I have a robust team, co-founder, who has over 20-year experience in digital health technology and go-to-market strategy. I have a robust tech support as well as a lineup of advisors that are very savvy in the startup space. I can't say much about this slide, but I think it conveys the message, and that's it. I will make up time here and allow you to ask me questions.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Thank you, Amos, for great presentation. This field definitely has high potential and becomes crowded. I would love to hear more about your competitive landscape. You didn't mention any. Another question, or I can ask one by one if you prefer not to forget.
So there are competitors out there, and what really makes this stand out is our integrated platform, where we're bringing in the providers and the patients. We have B2B companies, we have B2C companies, but we are first mover. We have a first mover advantage with our patent pending, as well as the zero-sum market strategy. And what that means is in the EHR, electronic health record system, once you have a provider, they're locked in. It will take a lot to move them out. So that's giving us the edge. We have a network effect advantage and founder authority, which is me and my team, of course. And we also have a high quality, low cost niche. And I'm happy to go into how we do that.
Mm-hmm. And what about patients' data? I guess it's quite a complicated from regulation perspective, right?
Yes. So we have a regulation that came out a few years ago called the Cures Act. The Cures Act empowers patients with their data. So it allows companies like us to have health API data ports that patients can aggregate their data. So we're helping the patients aggregate that data and to make it secure. With that, they can navigate the healthcare marketplace. They can hire and fire doctors. They can look at options. What we're building really is doctors or providers in the driver's seat and patients in the passenger seat, if you will, so that there is a collaboration. The patient gets a chance to pick who they want, where they are, and review the schedule, and also leads to better collaboration and better compliance.
You mentioned this act, it's US legislation, because in Europe it might differ, right?
Yes, the GDPR is more Europe. In the US is HIPAA and in the Cures Act. But the Cure Act is a movement that's going global, and it's the Web3 experience, the decentralization of healthcare, where companies like Cerna and the big EHR companies used to hoard those records, and patients gonna have access to it. And it's my data, but it's owned by another company. Now patients can easily access that data and allow them to be aggregated. We have APIs that connect to those EHR companies, and the patients is the only one. And this leads itself to other opportunities in blockchain, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about data decentralization, you mentioned the Web3 component. Can you please elaborate a little bit more?
I'm sorry, ask the question again.
Yeah, at the beginning of the presentation, you mentioned that you also have the Web3 component. Could you please elaborate?
Yes. We're not there yet, but the platform lends itself, and especially the data part. And as you start to empower the patients, and the patients are able to have control of their data, and whoever needs to see that, or however they want to leverage that, those components are there. But we are right now on RDS system, and as we migrate towards a blockchain system, I think we'll be able to implement some of those decentralization systems for the patients. But that's to come.
We have a couple of startups in our portfolio that are doing, not competing, but I believe complementing solutions on blockchain in Europe and US. So I believe we could connect later in LinkedIn or via organizers and
yeah, of course.
That'd be great.
That sounds great. We have about a minute and a half to go, so I want to make sure we have some more questions answered. Sorry, I had technical issues, but thank you everyone for just picking it up. And now whoever wants to go next and who was
I'd like to just leave a comment rather than a question, because I think it's going to be too short for us to answer the question. But it's just interesting that you're going after both the providers and the consumers in this business model. And I'd be interested to learn more about the commercial strategy of how you're going to acquire both sets of customers and kind of what that pacing and cost behind doing that is. It's already been proven that obviously the whole industry is really fragmented, and trying to work with customers as patients and appeal to them and acquire them, and or providers as customers as well, has each their very own nuanced pros and cons and challenges. So would like to understand that more. If you could reach out to me afterwards.
I'll take 5 seconds. Take 5 seconds to answer that, and then we can go offline. But our hope is that the patient will walk into the provider's office and say, "Are you a MedMatch yet? Because it makes my life a whole lot easier." So that's, in a nutshell, that's the idea. The idea is to empower the patient to be able to make those decisions, and that's where we're going. That's definitely where the market is going, and the focus is on the market. The economics is on the patients. Focus on the patients. Legislation on the patients. And market on the patients.
All right.
So consumer derived demand on the providers.
If my patients say I'm doing a good job, I'm very happy. I'm very proud. So we providers really rely on patients.
That's great. That's great. That's about what we have time for now. And thank you very much for your presentation. Always a pleasure. And we have our last startup, a Bond. Do you guys want to take over the stage? And a bonus from Japan. And Jin, please go ahead. And then after this, judges, please make sure to vote. We're going to have about 30 seconds after this presentation and Q&A for you to finish voting. And then we're going to announce the winner. So Jin, stage is yours. Go ahead.
Right. Let me just quickly set up a timer just in case.
All right, let's get started. So beyond Web3, I'm the CEO of Upbond. Okay, so Web3 is all about personal ownership of data and assets. But do you really want to control your own data? So we see two problems when it comes to Web3 mass adoption. One is for the enterprises, they cannot access customer information because it was supposed to be anonymous, right? For the users, it's very difficult to manage private key. So we provide an easy to use Web3 wallet that allows sharing personal information. So basically we have login portion where you can easily log in with social login, and we have a consent layer, consent management layer that you can opt into a specific company, and we have a web-based wallet. Same as before now with Web3. So for enterprises can smoothly transition their business to Web3. And then for the user, they can easily manage personal information, digital asset, and provide the information that you trust, that company you trust. So technology behind it, we have a secure key management solutions, and then digital identity where it's all decentralized. And then we have personal vault to make sure we comply with GDPR stuff. But obviously, we don't see a lot of like Web3 customer experience for general user yet. So not only we provide a product, we also do Web3 incubation for large corporates. We work with the best partners across the world. Obviously, Polygon is our strategic partner. They support Starbucks, Nike, Disney. We also work with the Dentsu, which is also okay. Now I have only 50 seconds. So revenue 1.6 mil, and we have very strong traction. And we position ourselves that a lot of Web3 is all about anonymous or all about decentralization, right? But by taking advantage of DID or our personal vault technology, we position ourselves that in fully Web3 technology, but we also be able to connect to a personal information. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've done 5 startups. I trilingual engineer, and I speak a lot about Web3 in Japan. So not only we are doing this wallet incubation, we potentially see hyper personalization with by disrupting boring ads. Just quickly talk about the future goal. We are currently at about 1.6 mil. We are track on $5 million in revenue in 2023. So we want to update the customer relationship by empowering individuals. So thank you.
Okay, questions?
Jordan, go ahead. You're before me.
Questions. My good friend, great job. 1.5 million revenue, terrific news. Business model, walk me through it before Igor has your head and mine on a platter.
Right. So for the wallet product, we have a recurring revenue. It's average $10. It was a tier, $10 per 1,000 IDs or 1,000 wallet. And then for Web3 incubation, we have recurring as well, but usually we start with $100K to $300K US per project.
Hit me with your typical KPIs, customer acquisition costs, churns, blah, 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 blah. You've made revenue, you know these numbers, give them to me.
Right. So for the wallet, because, we replace the login layer, like, Web2 login layer where you use social login. So the churn rate is quite low, like about 1% or less. And then for the Web3 incubation, we have a funnels. So we work with those alliance partners and they bring projects to us. And the conversion is we usually do 10 companies, and then roughly 30% goes to the POC.
And your recovery for the customer acquisition cost is weeks or months?
Customer acquisition cost, sorry, can you say that again?
you acquiring customers through your partnerships. What's the cost to do so, and how fast do you recover such costs?
So there's no cost for that because it's a partnership. But am I answering your question?
You did. I'll step back and let other people speak.
Yeah, okay, Gaio, you next.
Thank you, Gary. Great presentation, short, small number of words, but effective. I comply with Jordan about everything you discussed before. My question concerns more about your target market, and can you be more elaborative on your go-to-market strategy? Thank you.
Right. So obviously, after the FTX shocks, situation's been changing in the world of Web3. So currently we focus on Japan because Japanese government is the only government pushing Web3 in the world, maybe besides Dubai. But then we have some incubation projects that goes global by taking advantage of Japanese major IPs, contents, anime, manga stuff. And sorry, what was the another question?
Well, I just wanted for you to be more elaborate on your go-to-market strategy following the discussion within target market. But I understood that perfectly, what your development path is. So good luck.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Okay, Alex. You're on mute. You're on mute. Yep.
Market validation. Please go ahead. Market validation. What can you say about that?
Your market validation, Jim.
Like, is it how big the market is?
No, how about who's the customers and
value proposition.
Yeah.
Okay, so value proposition.
Go ahead, Alex.
Not the same thing. You should know market validation, or you can talk about traction in general, partnerships that you rely on, etc.
He has the 1.6. Go to the slide with the revenue numbers. You just had it right there.
Yeah, so we have 1.6 million in revenue, and then 900K is recurring, 700K is the one shot, and then
is it per year, per month, or life long?
Sorry, revenue is annual revenue. Recurring wise, 900K divided by 12. And this year we're projecting about 5 mil in total revenue.
I will not speak for Alexis, but you have revenue, great. Tell us, how do you know this is going to work, it's going to scale long term? What do you have for us to tell us it's going to go on and on and on?
Right. So again, right, recurring part, obviously.
And you will have about 30 seconds to do that. So just FYI.
Right. And recurring revenue wise, it's growing constantly. And then also we are providing very unique case to the market, not only just gamify or DeFi or NFT, but also a real, mass adoption case in Japan. And the reason it's going to go forward is because each company, Japanese corporates right now have $1 million to $3 million US budget for Web3, but they don't know what to do. And we are in a position to really educate them and bring them to the Web3 world. That's kind of
okay
right now. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So that was our last startup. Again, judges, you have about 30 seconds to maybe 45 seconds to finish voting. And then I'm going to publish the results and show us who the winner is. And meanwhile, just saying, you should feel free to drop your contacts in the chat and again, connect with each other and with our startups to discuss business after the event. So let's just finish with the votes. We've had quite a few exciting startups today, very industry agnostic, very diverse. So looking forward to seeing who's going to be representing GCD and Unicorn.Events partnership at the next Unicorn Battle.
Yeah, we expect nothing less from Gary Fowler and his team. Always
of course.
It's always, and it's nice having my friends here. I love you guys, man. I feel like it's family hour again. I don't get to see Stanley much. You know, Victoria, I don't get to see. I mean, all of you. I mean, literally, I know all of you. It's amazing. Over the years, here we are, Stanley, right from doing the African startups to here. And what did you think, Stanley? Was it interesting for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's three companies that I'm definitely going to get in touch with. I think when people think about sustainability, they don't think about like energy efficiency and things like that. It's all about trying to minimize our impact. And I've seen about three companies that definitely, Gary. So thanks a lot for including me. And again, to the entrepreneurs, good job. Very good job.
We appreciate it. You know, the one thing we say is intellectual capacity is evenly spread, but opportunities are not. And as you can say, we have a diverse group, you know, trying to do the right stuff. And we love our startups. So I thank each one of you for taking your time today too. So it's really cool. I'm excited to see, you know, listen, in my own perspective, they're all winners. Sometimes when you do presentations like this, you get a little shaken. And I could see that with some of the startups. But guess what? Practice makes perfect. So we got to do it again. We got to do it again. We got to do it again. You know, that's the way it always is.
It's very true. Very true. I'm going to be closing the voting and just going to share my screen in a second. Everyone's done very well today. And I hope you all also have learned something from each other and from our judges today. We have a winner. And I'm going to share my screen and start announcing from the third place. All right, so third place, we have Tier Money with the average rate of 3.6. Second place, we have MedMatch Network with the average rate of 3.95. And first place, we have Abont with the average rate of 4.22. So Abont, you're proceeding to the next unicorn battle. We're going to be in touch to ensure that you're in the right place.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I now I quickly searched market validation, and I should have known that.
No, you knew it. You started speaking about a value proposition, but Jordan explained. I mean, he gave the perfect definition what market validation is. So just remember that from this event.
Yeah, for sure. Next one I'll do better. Thanks.
You did such a good job. I want to take you to Network VC so we can invest in you. So call me.
It's very true. Very
awesome.
true.
Love it.
Hey. There
Your
you go.
pitch already been successful.
Yeah, no, good job, Jen. Good job to all of you. You all did a great job. You know, just we got to practice. And as Stanley said, he's got three companies. You know, he's on the board of the Phillips Foundation, you know, deeply connected at the bank. I mean, it's so you've got many of the investors today. Lorenzo's here from his family office, etc. Work with them, follow up, guys. You know, contact us and we'll help for the investors. You know, reach out to us. Jane is my chief of staff. Reach out and she'll coordinate. Let's go out and let's go get shit done together.
Jane is great. Can I add a comment, Gary?
Yeah, sure.
So I've been lucky to listen to a lot of companies. If somebody doesn't score top 1, 2, or 3, it's not necessarily it's a bad solution or a bad company. It's just you're offering me a hamburger and we're looking for a chicken, or you're offering a salad and we're looking for something else. It's just not the right match for the audience you're talking to. So stay the course, guys. This is great. You've dedicated a lot to do this. So today is the beginning of the rest of your life. Make it happen.
Yep, good job.
Yeah,
all right,
that's true. My three are not even in the top 3. So I mean, that's a good point to mention. So thank you very much. So,
I'm curious, Stanley, who are your 3?
You know, I was African Green Tech, and Curious or whatever, and then Tier Money. Those were the 3 that I was looking at because they fit the sustainability and the financial inclusion perfectly for me.
Can you tell us how big the fund is you're working on? How big is the amount of money that you guys have? Yes, how big?
You know, we got about 30 billion euros under management, and that 30 billion euros is divided between 3 main areas: agriculture, financial inclusion, and of course, renewable energy. So within those 3 areas, we can invest in any type of business model, from fintech or microfinance to traditional banks. So if anybody's got any innovations between those 3 verticals, please feel free to send it, because our funds cover from venture capital to much more mature listed, if I can say, operations. So we cover the all range of business growth.
Oh, that's
Did you say
fantastic.
30 billion with a B?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I mean, it's huge. And he's on the Phillips Foundation too. I mean, how long ago did we meet, Stanley? Like 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think we met about 4 years ago, and then we actually got really discussing things about 2 years ago when COVID just hit. So, and we've been actually on a few panels together discussing how we can better actually allocate funds to new innovations ladders. So I'm so happy to have joined this. I'm very impressed with what is coming out of your stable, Gary. Well done.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really great. And Igor, it's great to have you here, you know, with, and we appreciate your grinding the startups too, because, you know, we got to have, you know, it's not all rainbows and sunshines. We got to make sure that each presentation gets better and they express the goodness, the things that they have, and make it exciting for you. So we appreciate it. Thanks for the comments. It's appreciated. Can you tell us, yeah, Igor, you've had quite a few successful companies. What's the biggest success you've had as you're going down through? Which company is, you know, number one?
Miro.
How big is that?
Miro.com. Last round valuation 17.5 billion.
How big?
17.5 billion last valuation, and we led the seed round at valuation of 5 million. So it is.
Yeah, there you go. 7 billion. I know.
17 billion.
17 billion. Amazing.
Second one is deal with valuation of 12 billion.
12 billion.
Yeah, so okay. I hope that to find more companies like this. It doesn't happen every day, but it happens.
Yeah, I mean, we've got such a well-rounded group of investors. I mean, Lorenzo's family started banking in Italy in 1482. They funded Leonardo da Vinci. Just FYI. I mean, you're talking about old money. But the thing that I really like is that, you know, the friends are here. All of you, Adrian, all of you, Yuria, Leon, you're all here because you know, you all have the same idea. You want incredible startups, and it's great. Did you say something?
Yes, I want to add something interesting and just closing after the beautiful experience for, I think, all of them. My family have invented the check in the 1400 as a solution for a problem that was at that time was to keep privacy on how people were investing money. And it's almost something that today we still have after 600 years. There was no innovation after the Medici Bank in the 1400 in the banking industry. There is a lot of company who wants to now try to enter in the fintech and payment processing and things. The big problem is that still we have a lot of lock on bureaucracy and things to make it digital, becoming really digital. And so a lot of companies should think carefully on what they're doing and how they can achieve what is their goal. But the Medici family had something similar at the time. At the time, people were coming to pitch to my family in the 1400 in Florence, all kinds of innovation. And the biggest innovation was a man who was named Galileo Galilei, and he arrived there and knocked on this Medici Academy and say, can I have $600 million of the modern money today to create the biggest instrument to discover the star? And the Medici, after hearing a pitch by this old man with a big beard and long, they decided to finance Galileo Galilei and give him the money to create an instrument, and he discovered part of the star. And then on the conference press, they asked him, how do you call this discovery? And they call it in Latin, Sidera Mediciacum, means star of Medici. So the stars were having the name of Medici. So probably, Gary, in the future, there will be some investor that will call some of his invention or discovery with your name. So, you know, you may have some kind of heritage in the future too.
You know something, I don't know about that, Lorenzo, but having you guys all here and with the power behind each and every one of you is great, and I really appreciate it. And for all the startups, you know, you've done a great job. Let's keep going, getting shit done. You know, this is not the end of the journey. This is just the beginning.
That sounds great. I think at that, maybe I'll stop sharing the screen and we'll also stop the live recording. I think we can have some informal networking for anyone who wants to stay behind. Obviously, we want to respect your time. So if you wish to go, you can go. But off recording, you can discuss startups, you can discuss potential deals. So you can talk about money if you wish to. Thank you everyone for coming here today. Thank you for the audience for watching. We can stop the live now and the recording as well.
No, that's great. Victoria, thank you very much.